Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with this real estate entrepreneur, Omar. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you? What's up, everybody? What's up, Michael? Good to
Hey,
see
man,
you.
nice to see you as well, man. I got a lot of stuff to ask you about. The first thing I want to talk to is Omar, the real estate agent, the real estate broker. I verified with Matt, the mortgage guy, my Wednesday guest, that the 30-year mortgage now for owner occupants is 5.25. It
Yep.
hasn't.
What do we say? 5.25, man.
We said it. Yeah. I think last week or the week before. It's
Yeah.
coming. It's here. And for folks that don't realize it, 5.25 is, you got to go back to like 06, 07 to see these rates. So it's a long time. And you are in Southern California. You're in one of the cheaper parts of Southern California, but you're still stocking 400 grand ish average home. So I want to know, is the market still going gangbusters like nothing happened? Did it just fall off a cliff? Real estate, I mean, listings down, listings up, buyers down, buyers up. What's going on? It's crazy.
Right now, listings are just kind of plateaued.
Oh, okay.
They're not super up. They're
Yep.
not down. There's still some people that are putting their houses on the market.
Mhm.
The only reason is to take advantage of whatever's left of the appreciation. And there's still appreciation from a couple of years ago. You're still sitting on $100,000.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
are you sitting on 150? I don't know, probably not.
Yeah.
But over the next, I don't know, my perception over the next 6 months, people are going to lose 20,000,
Yeah.
25,000.
Okay.
Like they're not going to be completely unrealistic. At least they shouldn't be. So all agents that are listening, and if you're a seller, listen as well. Leave some meat on the bone and sell your property. Otherwise, you're going to be writing it down.
Yeah, that's really what I want to talk to you about. I want to break this down, seller, buyer, because
let's do that.
So seller first.
Okay.
First and foremost, sellers, this is the only thing they have. They're not in it like you. So they call you up, they call one of your agents, and they go, I want to sell my house. Great, blah, 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 blah. They know that their neighbor sold. I'm going to make up a number for 400.
Okay.
But you and I know that 400 was 6 months ago at the peak of the nuttiness.
For sure.
Right. But they don't know that. So they call up your agent. They have a meeting. You meet at a kitchen table and they say, I want to sell for 4.25. I'm just making this up. Basically, what I'm trying to say is a lot of sellers want to reach. And in fairness, the seller doesn't think they're reaching, right? They're like, hey, my neighbor got 400, but that was like a year ago. I want 4.25, right? So how does that conversation go? Do you just take it at 4.25 and wait? Do you educate them? What happens there?
No. So as a seller, the thing that we've been doing, and this is old school stuff, I have built-in price reductions.
Tell me more.
So you're a seller, Michael, you want 400K. You think that that's what the number is going to be, but that was, 4 months ago, 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's more like 385, because there's more properties in the market. And now that purchasing power from that
buyer,
from the buyer dropped 50K. It didn't drop 15,000. It dropped $50,000, if not more. Because you go from a 3% to a 5.25.
Yeah.
You're pretty much, excuse my language, you're fucking done. Yeah, like that's $80,000.
Yeah, the buying power is toast. Affordability is a problem. Yeah,
100%. So I let the sellers know this, and they're like, "Oh, okay, perspective, right?"
Yeah.
And then I said, "Okay, well, we're gonna list at, you know what? If you want your 409, we'll go at 409. But then in 2 weeks, if there's no activity, we're dropping it down to 379."
Wow. So you go. So really,
I'm $20,000.
Yeah, this makes, so again, you put that in the listing or whatever you would call that. You're like, you're setting the, okay, great. So in my example, Mr. Customer, Mr. Seller, we'll try it your way at 4.25, but 2 weeks from now, if we do not have an offer in hand, we're going to have a price drop, and it's not going to be a little one. It's going to be
100%.
We're going 399.
Yep.
I'm just making this up. So if the seller says, cool, you signed the deal, you're on, then you do what you do. You do an open house. You basically because again, the beauty of real estate is you only need one buyer. You need one buyer that wants that house. Like my wife or my sister-in-law lives next door, or parents are down the street. I have to have that house. So they'll pay 4.25. That's not going to happen in most cases. So then 2 weeks go by, you get a big price drop. That kicks off a lot of additional searches or filters because everybody's looking for price drops. You go in at $399, which is far more what you thought it would be.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have a second price drop, or is that you're done, you think?
Well, this is the thing. Do you want to ride the wave down,
Mhm.
or do you want to get ahead of it?
Okay. So tell me.
So that's my thing with the sellers.
Right.
It's like, sure, we can drop it $5,000, but is that going to really get a buyer off the seat? No.
No.
15,000. You know what? 15 is probably a good number.
Yeah.
10K I don't like. I like 15.
Okay.
But definitely 20, because now it's like, oh
yeah.
Now I'm in the running.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a buyer and I put the buyer hat on the seller,
Mhm.
okay, Michael, you're looking at properties and you're looking at $400,000 or 4.25 with your
Mhm.
example.
Yeah.
Are you going to go get a 4.25 house for the same value
Mhm.
that this other one for $399 is offering, or are you going to try to get the $399, especially with that interest rate increasing?
Yeah.
And now you're gonna be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So let me talk about the sellers that you do have, because I don't know that. So when I look about sellers, and again, if you're an owner and you bought 2 years ago, you are sitting on $100,000 in your market equity.
You are 100%.
So the question I have for you is, where are they going? Because nobody wants to live in their car, even if they have $100,000 in the bank. Are they moving somewhere else in your area, or are they going out of state in most cases?
In most cases, they are going out of state.
So they're
but
taking
then lately,
California money and going. Okay.
right. But then lately, they've been wanting to. This is a good trip because now everyone's like doing the same thing. They want to go rent and not have the responsibility.
So that could be interesting, right? You're selling on it. You had a big world. You got lucky. You made $100,000. You're like, this can't last. You maybe remember Southern California falling 50, 60, 70%. Yep. So you list your house, you sell it, and you just go rent for a couple of years. You're basically betting that prices and payments get better, I'm guessing.
Right. But then at the same time, if someone wants to sell, I'm going to say, yeah, you can sell and go rent. That's fine. I'll help you on the rental aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And then offer the landlord a year in advance and not have a payment.
Yeah, exactly, for a year. All right, that makes sense. And then the other thing is, it's different. And the other thing you could have is you could have sellers that really don't want to sell, right? They're like, hey, if I get 4.25, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Like a perfect example. Right now, I have exactly the same example. We went 489, and I told them the house was worth 449, and they're like, no, Omar, same example. Hey, 6 months ago, Zillow's telling me this. I'm like, it's not the same no more.
All right.
It's not the same. So we ended up going ahead and listing it. I think it was 489, just to throw up the sign, get some sign calls, etc. But then they're like, oh, Omar, this is like 4 days in. Hey, why isn't there a lot of activity? I'm like, I told you that you're way too high. Yeah. You guys didn't believe me. But then now, because of that price drop that we agreed to, we're dropping at 20,000. So now we're at 469. So immediately, this is in like 5 days.
Yeah.
So it's like some of these sellers, you need to come out the gate perfect right now, because you want an offer, you want it accepted, you want it in escrow, and you want it to close. So there's no other property that comes on the market that buyer might say, you know what, I'm going to can this offer and go to that one because that one's a better buy.
Yeah.
Because this is what's going to happen over the next 4 or 5 months, guaranteed.
Yeah. So in the market, so again, a lot of sellers. So again, sellers will sell to move out of state. Sellers will sell to rent, which I think is amazing. And then some sellers will get the perfect price or they stay put. That's kind of the market.
100%. Yep.
Okay. So now let's be the buyer. Man, buyers have been kicked in the teeth.
Dude, they have been. Doesn't matter which avenue on the way up, on the way down. Now they're like they're purchased out.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in the affordability index. You know that it's nationally speaking, affordability is back to 2006 levels, which is not good. It's got to be bad in your market. It's got to be bad in your market as well. Meaning there were people that were qualified at 3.5 that just aren't qualified at 5.25. It's like, I can't buy. I don't qualify anymore.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't checked the affordability factor here in about a month.
Yeah, it's going to come out, I think, in a week or so. So Fresno about 2 months ago was 40. Dude, it could drop all the way to 31 or 32. It doesn't normally move that fast, but it's moving. So definitely something to watch. But yeah, I think I don't know what the pool of buyers were for you 6 months ago, but it was probably pretty healthy. I'm guessing
Yeah, it was.
it's cut in half now. I mean, I don't know. Do you have a perspective?
I think it's probably cut at least a third.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a little less than half, I would say,
Yeah.
because there's still some people that are like filtering out.
Mhm.
But what I'm seeing is that sellers, and this is some agents that are a lot on the smarter end,
Mm.
they're making offers to the buyers
What do
because
you
the
mean?
seller wants to sell.
Oh,
instead,
so I'm a listing
yes,
agent. I have your 489. They're whispering to the buyer, my guy will take 449. Is that what you mean?
yeah, not a $40,000 reduction, but yeah,
Whatever.
something.
Some number.
Yeah. Yeah, because what everybody wants is they want to go in escrow. They want to get, and this is the thing that's starting to happen. At least for me,
Yeah.
I want the buyer emotionally attached, and I want the
Right.
seller
Committed.
emotionally attached. Exactly. That's my thing. Yep.
Yeah. You want them pot committed.
Pot
Okay.
committed. That is
Yeah.
it. Are you pot committed? I'm writing that shit down.
So again, basically what I hear you're saying is the real estate market is changing. You have to be on point. You have to know your numbers. You have less sellers, less buyers, still business being done, but it's going to be a slower first half is what I think you're telling me.
100% will be a slower first half. I think the next 2-3 months, the first quarter was like, it was interesting.
okay.
There's still stuff moving because it was still
The market
the flow
doesn't.
from last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But quarter 2 and quarter 3, I don't know. I mean,
I think
we're
Q2
in
is
it.
going to be really weak.
And then Q3 maybe it'll be an increase.
Ah,
But if they're saying, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. But I
Yeah.
think Q4 we're going to be like, what the fuck happened?
yeah, I think you and I did this. We did that real estate supply thing. I mean, I don't know your business specifically, but I think your MSA could see 50% less transactions. Think about that.
Oh, dude, didn't think about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 50% less transactions, still have all the agents, still have all the communities. That's just wild, right?
It's wild, man. It's a wild west here soon. I'm tripping on this affordability index too.
Yeah. It's a problem.
But I know we have a couple more topics to talk about because
let's
this is
get
going
to
to be really dope.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to join your team, wanted to sell something, buy something, how do you want them to reach out?
Reach out to me, guys, at my IG at Omar_Alfaro, or go to my website, omaralfaro.com.
Very cool, man. Thanks.